How long do you think Bezos gives those mech that he was in for public sale? Hopefully soon. I want one. I want one. If I ever become like a big streamer or anything, I'll get like, I got like Vosh type money and I'm able to buy one of those. Can you imagine bringing like a Tinder girl home and you're like, hey, you want to see something? And she's like, ooh, eh? And then you like come out of the closet with like your like massive freaking arms. The dream. Yeah, any woman would instantly coom. The power. Yeah, you can come out of the closet in a whole new meaning. Wow. Yeah, sorry, babe. The robo arms stay on during. Sorry, that's just like how it is. I'm just that type of guy. You know what I mean? I'm just that type of guy. Let's just talk about this real quick, okay? We all know about these people, the conspiracy theorists, QAnoners, lots of people going around saying that they know what's what when it comes to the pandemic that we've been in, the plandemic. Very many people have been upset. They don't like Dr. Chi, how Dr. Chi has been trying to inject you with the Chi ouchie, Joe Juice, the clot shot, all right, the jokey pokey. They don't like it. They don't want it. So there's been a big group of people who have been very outspokenly anti, and because of that, that's led them to do some very questionable things. One of those things is gather up in a bunch of big rooms together, breathe into each other's mouths, and then pretend nothing wrong's going to happen. He is going to inject you with gay frog water. That's true. That may be true. They go around, they own the libs, they walk into their local Old Navy, they lick the doorknob while coming in. They're just those types of people. This brings us to COVID party that didn't go too well for the participants. They are plague rats. You're right. They've been coping ever since. So basically what happened is that in Dallas, there was a big Republican party, a bunch of people talking about, it was a conspiracy conference, and they were talking about conspiracies, the clot shot, the jokey pokey, the Joe Juice, the Chi ouchie, you know what I mean? And how that's all cringe and that they'll never take it. Big problem is that out of nowhere, almost all of them got sick after the conference. Yeah, the liberal elixir. They got sick. And you know, you'll think to yourself like, surprise, surprise. It was a surprise to them. They were genuinely shocked. They were so shocked, in fact, that they did not come to the conclusion that the reason why we were sick is because of COVID. No, that's not true. They've been drinking their hydroxychloroquine, horse tranquilizer, bleach, Mr. Bubbles, Windex potion to keep them safe from COVID. It's not COVID. It had to be anthrax. It must have been the liberals who did an anthrax attack on them. Nothing else makes sense for how they could all gather up in a massive room, breathe in each other's mouths during a pandemic and get sick. It has to be an anthrax attack. And that's the cope that they're going with. A group of unvaccinated people who attended a huge conspiracy conference in Dallas earlier this month all became sick in the days after the event with symptoms like coughing, shortness of breath, and fever. Real. What could it be? It must be a massive anthrax attack. They're trying to kill us. They're trying to take us down. Only way. It's the only thing that makes sense. This far-right conspiracy claim began after a dozen people spent time together in a confined space at the Reawaken America Tour event in Dallas over the weekend of December 10th. And the fact that this was likely a COVID outbreak and a super spreader event has almost been entirely ignored. All of this is happening and no one has taken a second to be like, this may have something to do with COVID. No, can't be. David Clemens is claiming that Joel Altman, Jova Pulitzer, and a dozen others who are at the Reawaken American Tour are suffering from symptoms related to an anthrax attack. It had to be those non-binary, genderless, polyfuck, gender fascists, Joe Biden voting socialist liberals who must have poisoned us in our communal juice box and given us anthrax gay frog water. And that has to be why we're sick. There's no other reason. With 142,000 subscribers, that's horrifying. I spoke with Joe Altman earlier today. It appears that he, Jova Halton Pulitzer, and a dozen other folks who were present at the green room in the last Reawaken American Tour event in Dallas are suffering from symptoms related to an anthrax attack. I consider Joe a good friend. It's easy to pray for those you love. I'm also praying for Joe Pulitzer, who's struggling right now. I've asked Jova some difficult questions regarding the compromised Maricopa audit not producing his findings and the fact that the report was watered down. Jova has always been a bit of a loose cannon and unfortunately decided to respond by making things personal and threatening my family and mocking my faith. Did I like that? No. Will I demand answers to a citizen-funded audit? Yes. Even while this is happening, they can't let go of their conspiracy, even in this. But would I ever want Jova to suffer? No. Please pray for Jova and for a swift healing. Pray for Joe and the others that are struggling. Truth is all that matters. They're very sick. and what is suspected to be anthrax poisoning. They're trying to kill us, and none of them's going to go to the hospital for this either. None of them's going to go to the hospital for this. They think that they've been attacked by the liberal, leftist, socialist, communist, fascist cult, but no one's going to go to the police, and no one's going to go to the doctor to figure out if they're going to be okay. Normal things from normal people. Vaccine police has a video on Telegram at 4:20 timestamp asking about the mist coming down at a Clay Clark event. Said 6 of his friends were sick. They've been misted. These people think they've been attacked by like a Batman villain. They think they've been hit with fear toxin. What's happening? If you didn't know, I noticed down the elevator came wafting, crawling a mist across the ground. It had to be the anthrax mist. It had to be aerosol gay frog water anthrax mist. Anthrax symptoms include fever, chest pain, shortness of breath, cough, headache, fatigue, and in other words, many symptoms of COVID. But the Reawaken tour that features anti-vaxxers and COVID skeptics, so it'd be embarrassing if a bunch of them caught COVID. I'm not saying there wasn't an anthrax attack in the green room, but if there's a bunch of unvaxxed people who are in close contact with each other, all start to suffer from shortness of breath, cough, fever, anthrax would not be my first guess. Me too, bestie. I would think that anthrax is probably not at the top of the list during a national pandemic, global pandemic, because they'd immediately prove that it's COVID, and if they all went to the hospital, oh yeah, they'd all be diagnosed with COVID. But the thing is, they have an out for that. They just say that the nurses are liberal cucks who just want to give them the Fauci ouchie. So they've not been awoken. They have not reawakened to the fact that COVID isn't real. So obviously it has to be something else. It has to be the anthrax. They just don't want to tell them. Instead, Oldman, who spent much of his time in 2021 spreading bogus election conspiracies, claimed that he and his fellow conspiracy theorists who had recently attended the conference had been attacked by anthrax. Wow. It was headlined by the likes of the disgraced former security advisor Michael Flynn, former Trump advisor Roger Stone, My Pillow CEO Mike Lindell, and Eric Trump, son of the former president Trump. So they had everybody. They had the whole cast and caboodle in there, man. They had the whole cast of villains. They had the freaking villains league in there to talk about the to all cope with each other about how they lost the election and how Mike Flynn should be in jail, but he was very lucky to get pardoned by the elder Trump. How nice for him. Anthrax time. There's a 99.9 chance that it's anthrax. Oh, that's a real high percentage chance, man. That's a really high percentage chance. I mean, oh my goodness. He seems very sure of himself that it had to be anthrax. There's a 99.9% chance that it's anthrax. Altman said on his podcast, even though no one had tested positive for anthrax poisoning and none of the other 3,500 attendees so far reported suffering from the effects of anthrax. Well, Altman said that he was sick. Oh, he's gonna die. Oh, this guy's dead. Can you imagine if this guy dies? Can you imagine through all of this guy freaking kicks the bucket because is not able to finish his podcast because he decided to go out there. He's decided to go out there, catch COVID, and then die. He cared more about that than anything else in his life. Where do you think that they'll go from there? Do you think that they'll kick it into high gear? Do you think that Eric Trump is going to be like, someone assassinated? Oh, this is going to be it. This is going to be their catalyst. This is going to be their Joker moment. Okay. This is where they think that they're so much under attack. They've now been targeted by Joe Biden, Fauci ouchie assassins to exterminate them so they won't be able to tell the truth. I see it. He claimed his symptoms were tempered because he was already taking the antibiotic as a result of impaling his leg with an arrow in his brother's garage weeks previously. Who are these people? How'd you get impaled in the leg by an arrow in your brother's garage? The fuck is happening? An election conspiracy theorist, Pulitzer, a failed inventor who, man, they called his ass a failed inventor. Vice is ruthless. Who once created a barcode scanner. Wait, who once created a barcode scanner listed as one of the 50 worst inventions ever? No, you can't roast him like that. Was heavily involved in the bogus Arizona recount, consulting for the cyber ninjas and promoting the idea that the box ballots that were flown in to Arizona on election night from Asia to swing the vote in Biden's favor. Just so you know, part of this like conspiracy theory from Arizona about like there have been election boxes that have been tampered with from Asia. One of the things that this guy and cyber ninjas were told to look for was bamboo fibers. Pulitzer unironically like fucking believes that like Chinese people are like actual fucking pandas who in their factories like munch on bamboo, and that's why he was looking for bamboo fibers in the machines. That was one thing that they were actually unironically searching for. Listen, I've watched Kung Fu Panda. I think I know a little bit of what goes on behind the scenes in the Hidden East. You know what I mean? We have to look for bamboo fibers. That's a telltale sign that it came from Asia. We all know that John Cena and Xi Jinping have been working fastidiously to overthrow the election. Everybody who's been watching knows this. Altman, Pulitzer, has not been heard of in several days when he was reported with severe complications, including body lesions and weeping skin. Oh, he's dead. This guy's literally melting. Weeping skin, he's dying. This guy is dead. They haven't even heard of from him. Ever since this thing has happened, he's like, hey guys, I'm pretty sure I'm like goddamn melting. Body lesions. And then he just went dark. Body lesions sounds kind of fun. Yeah, like, I mean, consensually. It's the plague, bro. This guy's dead. They're gonna find this guy keeled over in his bathroom in the next like week, and then they're going to be like, we've been targeted. They're assassinating us, boys. Xi Jinping dropped the aerosol anthrax gay frog water, and they killed Pulitzer, man. After Altman made the claims about anthrax without providing a shred of evidence, the conspiracy was boosted by the election fraud conspiracists like former Mexico State University professor David Clemming and Overstock.com. In-fucking credible. After Altman made his initial claim, other conspiracy-minded folk highlighted a video from the event that showed a fog machine appearing during the conference, suggesting that this is how the anthrax spread. And knowing the fact that no anthrax outbreak had been reported by the centers by the CDC or any other agency, Clark, the organizer at the Reawaken event, had dismissed the claims as rumors and told the far-right online talk show host Stu Peters, never trust a man named fucking Stu Peters, that he is not part of the Illuminati and that the fog machine in question was simply a fog machine. It was the fog machine. They put anthrax in the fog machine. It has to be. Still, no one involved in the event had publicly entertained the idea that these illnesses have been caused by COVID-19, and that's the end, boys. Okay, not even the guy who had to defend his own fog machine was like, boys, you just have COVID. Not even he confessed up to it. He is just as perplexed. He has no clue what could possibly be going on. And I just know it wasn't my fog machine that did something wrong. It has to be something else. COVID doesn't exist. I've taken my bleach Windex. It can't be COVID. Yeah, what Ace Attorney level style case is this? I think it's definitely Ace Attorney. Wait a second, I got you. Here, 1 second. I have this somewhere. Yeah, here we go. They catch someone at the event. They get them. So, you've seen this before. Can you tell the jury what this is? A fog machine? A fog machine! And what does a fog machine do? It makes fog? Yes, indeed. So we found this fog machine at the event producing, what was that? Fog? Who has fog machines these days? Last time I checked, Michael Jackson's dead. I haven't seen a fog machine since Thriller's been around, but all of a sudden the fog machine just comes up out of nowhere producing what? Fog. And what can you ask me? What was in this fog? Fog is fog juice. Ladies and gentlemen, do you know what fog stands for? Freely outputting gas anthrax. The prosecution rests their case. I'm pretty sure no one put anthrax in the fog machine. Really? Cause I'll have you know, me, Pulitzer, and Altman all got sick. Oh wait, no, wait, my bad. Why else would we be sick, all confined in a room together? The answer has to be anthrax. Where's my objection sound? I used to have I have this objection sound. I don't know where I put it. Can I string these together in a way that makes sense? Wait, 1 second. This one's for me. 1 second. Can you tell me again, Mr. Event Organizer? What was in the fog machine? Fog? Objection! Wrong. It wasn't fog. It was obviously anthrax. No way could any of us who've been taking our daily regimens of ivermectin injections straight to the dickhead and also shots of bleach daily could possibly get sick during this pandemic. The only reason we would ever be sick is because we had to have been targeted. The answer is obviously anthrax. It has to be. There you go. There we go.